The intersection of social media's influence, political discourse, and the personal targeting of public figures um, is, is an interesting time. It's almost it's not possible to put the genie back in the bottle. But Elon Musk's attacks on Jess Phillips, the safeguarding minister, and his announcement that she deserves to be imprisoned is extraordinary. This move from a personal attack to making a legal pronouncement is extraordinary. And Musk's comments accusing Phillips of becoming an apologist for the grooming gangs and suggesting, as I say, that she deserves to be in prison, marks a disturbing escalation in the power of social media. And it doesn't matter whether these claims are baseless or whether they are incendiary. What matters is this move in rhetoric from vilification to a legal judgment, and it is an extraordinary move. At its core, it's more than a billionaire's controversial remarks. It underscores how platforms like Twitter can hijack critical conversations, in this case the enduring scandal of the gangs, and redirect attention to polarizing personalities and legal charges. And Musk's comments were sparked by Phillips's decision to recommend local rather than national inquiries into the grooming gangs and the exploitation cases, particularly in Oldham. And her rationale, rooted in the principle of local accountability, was quickly overshadowed by Musk's rhetoric. Now, Musk may be right that the local system, local government, isn't working, as I think I've demonstrated this morning. But the personal nature of the attacks against Phillips, who's dedicated her career to supporting survivors of violence, reveals how social media emboldens unaccountable voices to dominate narratives. But it's that move from criticism to legal charge which is so dramatic. And the Labour government's response, led by Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, rightly labels Musk's as disgraceful smears, but it doesn't seem to pick up the main issue, which is this legal language, that she deserves to be in jail. That is an extraordinary statement from somebody who is allied to a man who is now awaiting a sentencing which could result in a jail sentence and is about to become the next President of the United States. Phillips' record, establishing services for survivors and championing policies to combat exploitation, is one of action, not apathy. Yet Musk's comments, amplified by his global platform, reduce complex policy decisions to divisive sound bites, belittling her efforts. Now, her efforts may not be efficacious, but I don't think one could turn around and say that she hasn't made an effort or that she deserves to be imprisoned. Musk's targeting of Keir Starmer is similarly problematic. By accusing the Prime Minister of complicity in the rape of Britain during his tenure as Director of Public Prosecutions, Musk invokes a populist trope, blaming individual leaders for the failures of the system. And Starmer himself has acknowledged shortcomings during his CPS leadership, but turning these into viral accusations serves no constructive purpose. You deal with reality that you've got, not with hindsight. Hindsight does nothing. What is most striking is how Musk's intervention eclipses the victims of these gangs. The independent inquiry into child sexual abuse described this issue as an epidemic requiring reform, yet Musk's focus on personal attacks shifts the spotlight away from the survivors and the urgent need for institutional accountability, and instead Twitter has become a stage for sensationalism where finger-wagging is directed at individuals in positions of power in Westminster. Nuance is sacrificed for clicks and engagement. That isn't helping the survivors. And this raises broader questions about the role of social media in politics. Musk's alignment with Nigel Farage's reform, his criticism of mainstream political figures, his praise for far-right movements in this country and in Germany and elsewhere highlights how unchecked social media power can destabilize a democracy. can destabilise democratic discourse, can destabilise society. And Farage, ever the opportunist, lauds Musk as a hero figure, using his influence to bolster Reform UK's anti-establishment appeal. But what is being put up as a positive? All of this is negative, and it's very easy to carp. It's very easy to wag your finger. It's much harder to build something. Labour's response, notably cautious, reflects the delicate balancing act of engaging with Musk without legitimising his claims, and while Streeting's defence of Phillips is commendable, Labour's hesitance to confront Musk head-on reveals the challenges of countering misinformation without amplifying it. But at the same time, Labour isn't itself producing any positivity on this issue. The way to deal with Musk is to say this is what we are doing. Is to demonstrate the positives rather than get into a slanging match about who takes responsibility. The saga exemplifies how social media fosters a dangerous environment for public servants. Jess Phillips' experience highlights the personal toll of being subjected to vitriol online. And her previous description of Twitter, X, as a place of misery resonates now more than ever, as attacks like Musk's deter capable individuals from entering public life. Instead, we have twits running the country. They don't deserve prison. They deserve arrest. They deserve a respite. They deserve to be replaced. They don't deserve prison. So as we navigate this digital age, we have to confront the disproportionate power of platforms like Twitter and their owners. Musk's megaphone amplifies his views, shaping narratives that can overshadow critical issues like safeguarding vulnerable children. And the challenge lies in ensuring that victims' voices are not drowned out by the cacophony of online outrage and finger-wagging. Can you drown something out by finger wagging? I don't know whether you can. It's the noise of the wind resistance, isn't it? The discourse surrounding grooming gangs must return to its rightful focus. Justice for survivors, support for survivors, help for survivors, and a focus on a better system and on on meaningful institutional reform. Social media's potential to facilitate dialogue, social media's potential to do something good, has been turned into a weapon to silence or vilify those who are working tirelessly to protect the vulnerable. We need to demand accountability, of course, not just from public officials, but from those who wield immense influence online. But our primary goal must be to provide support and care for those people who've been harmed.